Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here today. And what you see there is a piece of carnelian. And this is the first in a series I'm going to be doing cutting carnelian because I like it. And because I want to help you get an idea of how I process things when I see them, how I process stones, how I cut the stones, how I look at the stones, and all that philosophical stuff. Yay! Philosophy 101, according to Clay, whose best friend's a rubber chicken. Yeah, think of that one for a while. But anyway, let's take a look at this piece of carnelian. Get the zoom going. Alright, this is a piece of tumbled carnelian out of a container of them like that. And what we got here is, well, when I looked at this, I'm like, wow, there is so much going on in here. There's the blue pointy stick. We've got swirlies. We've got round things. We got multitude of shades of orange and red. And we got white on this side. Okay, and we got white swirlies over here. We've got black curly Q thingies. And there's probably a name for all of these, but honestly, do I really absolutely have to... Do I absolutely have to know what every one of them is to be able to cut it into something pretty? No. And neither do you. If you're just starting out, you're watching this, you're trying to figure out how to cut some stones, you bought a thing like this at the craft store, and it's like, I want to make pretty stones. Well, this is how you do it. Well, this is how my brain functions with it anyway. So this one is going to be a fairly easy one. Let's start off with a fairly easy one. We've got this big flat side here, that's going to be the bottom. And this is going to be the top. Okay? And like I said, we've got a lot of stuff going on in here. We've got swirlies and quirlies and all that crapola. That's going to make for a nice stone. And this one, I'm thinking this is pretty obvious how we should cut this. Okay? And it's pretty obvious. I would say pretty obvious to the novice that this stone's going to come out looking pretty nice. But anyway, you see we got swirlies, gnarlies, and all that stuff going on. So let's take this over to the wheel and get on it. Okay, this is take 2 on this. I brought the camera over and apparently didn't hit the play button correctly, and it shut off on me only 16 seconds in or so. Thank God that I caught it. But I didn't get much done to it. What I said before I noticed that I didn't turn it on was, this is going to be the bottom, and we're going to have to flatten it out. And the reason we flatten it out is because we know it's the bottom. If this was like a round stone and we had to determine where everything was, I'd have to work a little bit and take some edges off and stuff. But since we know this is the bottom already because of the shape of this tumbled and polished stone, we're going to flatten this out. And we flatten it out because we want it to be good on the stick, or to attach well to the stick. And a lot of these tumbled stones, they have a wax coating on it, which won't let the glue stick to it really well, or even the wax if we were using wax. So I'm going to bring that edge up, not the edge, I'm going to bring that bottom up a little bit more. It means I'm going to have to flatten it a little bit longer. It isn't going to take long. Okay, now I've got pretty much flattened the way I need it. Now, the next part of this is I'm going to put an edge on here. And I want the edge to be thicker than this. Focusing? Yeah. Now I'm going to put an edge on it, which will be the girdle, and start establishing the shape of this thing. And I don't want, now if you can see, focus, there's a flat edge, but it turns a little bit down here towards the bottom. I want to get rid of that. I want it to come right down to the flat edge of my bottom. That didn't sound quite right. want it to come down to the flat edge of the bottom of the stone. And this side, you can see, is pretty flat, and I want to get some shape to it. Okay, and we're coming up here. That seems to be about the thickness I want the edge to be. So seeing as how this is like the steepest part of the stone, it comes down like that. It shoots into the edge. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now you see our shape is not, it could be a free form. And I'm shooting for a little bit better, yeah, more pleasant shape. I'm going to cut more of this side away. I can do it this direction. Okay, but I want to keep as much stone as possible. Keep as much stone as possible while getting a pleasant shape to it. So if this was a valuable stone that I was really concerned about carat weight, you know, I would be a little bit more particular about how I cut this shape around. Okay, now I'm getting sort of a drop shape, but it's more uniform. Got a really high side here, so essentially this top's going to have to come off. So I'm going to do that next. I'm going to start grinding this top down. Now I can be pretty aggressive on this top here so far because it's kind of high. I'm not going to worry about putting an angle on that girdle yet. And I want to get this down to where I can start shaping, because if you look, you know, this side is really thick. So you know what, I'm going to start pulling that down. And this is the thin side. That's how high I want my girdle. So I'm going to start bringing that straight side up to the same thickness. I got the straight side here. I want to bring that straight side thickness the whole way around. And maybe it's about possibly a 45-degree angle that I'm hitting this, bringing this down on. As you can see, that we're starting to get a dome already. And there's a lot going on in there. Now I'm going to take more of this high spot off. You see here, this angle piece going up here, I may have to bring this in just a little bit more. So my stone might be really thin. Once I start bringing this down a little bit more, we'll be able to see better. In fact, I might make that girdle just a tad bit thicker by taking more of this off. Okay, I'm thinking I'm liking that a little bit more. Yeah, I think I like that shape better. And you're working the stone. A lot of times the stone's going to tell you what it wants to be. Not in every case. You have to have your mind open for that. Okay, now we're on that dome again. Soon going to be down to where... Ooh, we got some sparks flying there. Be down soon to where I'm going to have to go under the other wheel. It's less aggressive. Okay, now let's look at this dome. It's fairly even, but we still got a little bit, well, maybe we don't. I was going to say we have a little bit of a flat spot there, but I think that's mostly gone. At least it's to the point where we can take it out with the finer wheel. And I really think I should head over to the finer wheel now. So we shall do that. Okay. Now I'm going to redo that girdle with this finer wheel. And when you're doing this, you can sort of feel if there's any flat spots. And we're getting sort of an oval. And I don't think it matters if you do it this direction or this direction. It's whatever feels better at the time. I'm going to start putting a slight angle on that girdle. I like to have a few degree angle on there. Personally, I do. And when I'm setting stones, I find that that's better for me. I can put a slight angle on that girdle and sometimes go with a smaller bezel. Instead of bringing it way up here, I could bring it like to here, because there's an angle in there, and that keeps the stone inside the girdle, because it keeps the stone inside the girdle because it, it keeps the stone inside the bezel, because the bottom is, bigger than what's above it. I'm taking that tiny little transitioning edge off of the girdle. Okay, and here's what we're getting. And that is looking awesome. That is looking awesome. And to be totally honest, I think it's time to get it on the dopstick. I'm to the point now where I need to be more precise, and I can be more precise with the dopstick. Some people don't like to put them on the dopstick. Some people do. How would you say it? Whatever you can do a better job at, if you can do it better with a dopstick, put it on a dopstick. If you can do it well enough for you just by hand like this without a dopstick, then that's how you do it. But don't just say, well, I'm going to do a dopstick, or I'm not going to do dopsticks. Try it. Try it out. Try it on different ones and see which method works for you. Okay, yeah, definitely we're going to do a dopstick now. So don't go away. I will be back with this stone on a stick. Don't go away. Okie dokie, we're back. And we've got this pretty little stone here on a stick. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to define this edge. I'm going to define this edge at the angle that I want. And if you can see it good enough in the camera, you can see I am putting a slight angle on that edge. And I can do it a lot better with it on a stick. Get it on a stick. So far, no one has got that reference or put it in the comments, which they should. Okay, I think we got the edge defined, and the shape is looking pretty good. Now I'm going to soften that top of the edge up where it starts into the dome. A little rattle there, it's bothering me. And there we go. Okay. Yo! Okay, sorry about that. I had a knock on the door, I had to answer. Now I think what I was doing was working this top of the setting edge down before I work on the dome. Dome's a little bit high here, which is good. Not like it's too high, but it's just a nice high dome. Oh, and I got another email from Mrs. Cluck. And like those of you who are not familiar, Mrs. Cluck used to be the sponsor until she retired. And now she's out doing stuff in her retirement. And this week, yeah, that's her playing backup bass for the Norwegian rock group Surströmmings. Like I said, I don't even ask anymore. Okay, let's circle this around. That's the part I like. I can do this speedily. And for some reason, the arthritis in my thumbs is not bothered by this motion, which is pretty darn awesome. This seems to get rid of any and most of the facets. Any little water. Most of the faceting that's on there, if you had any. Okay, let's see. We got any facets going on? No, that's looking nice. Ooh, yeah, that's looking nice. I think one more quick twirly around here, and we're going to be ready for the, I guess it would be the pre-polish. Alrighty, look at that. Look at that. We even kept some of them black swirlies in there. So now we are off to the wheel of the bad valve. Now, is it also the wheel of the can't get the thing set right? And no, the valve is not fixed and probably shall not be fixed. And you've heard this through how many videos now? You'll probably hear it through many, many more. And when I hit this pre-polish, this is the 600 grit. I like to go up the entire width of the girdle, even up to where the transition is. Before I start doing this to really blend that transition in. If you have any heavy facets, when you hit this stage, you know, it's going to wear your wheel out a little bit, and it's not going to take the facets out. This is more or less just smoothing out. You should pretty much have it unfaceted by the time you get off of this wheel. You don't want big facets by this time. You want very, very tiny facets. And this is the important to this wheel. But no, they're all important. I have 4 pieces of Carnelian. I have 4 pieces of Carnelian picked out for this Carnelian series. And then we'll get into the next series, which is, I don't know yet. But we will get into it. Okay, let's take a look. Oi, look at that. That is awesome. I don't think I could have picked a nicer stone for this. The awesome Carnelian stone of awesomeness. And if you've done your job right on the first 2 wheels, this wheel won't take very long. Focus. Even when it focuses, I have to say focus sometimes. Yeah, I'm not seeing any real faceting here. Nice smooth transition. Everything just looks pretty darn good. So, let's shut off the valve of unvalviness and head over to this 1200 grit of grittiness. By the time you get here, this is just starting to polish up. And it shouldn't take you long at all on this wheel. And you want to be quick. You don't want it to set too long in the same spot. You want it to go zippity-doo-dahing across there. Because of the hardness of this stuff, it will do cerium oxide really well. So that's going to be the next step. Cerium oxide, and then take a look at the final product. Look at that. Ooh. That is gorgeous. Take a quick look at it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't see any gnarlies or goobers in there. So, I'm going to take this, hit it with the cerium oxide, and take it off the stick. And I'll meet you back over here at the desk, and we'll see what kind of lovely we got. Right? So, don't go away. Okie dokie. And we have here the purple wipey rag of unwipiness. And we also have one gorgeous looking out of focus piece of carnelian. Hey, look at this. Why does everything look like aliens? Because I got these two lights shining down on it. Look at that. We've got some of those black swirlies. We've got the red and orange swirlies. We've got swirlies that we don't even know what to do with, man. Can we focus in on it that way? Is it any better? Nope. I think this is the best we're going to get it. We've got a pretty good polish on there. And I can't see a whole lot that's at all wrong with this stone. I mean, a piece of carnelian agate is just flipping awesome. We were able to keep the little black swirlies in there, every stuff. I can honestly say that this here stone is a win. So that's video 1 on carnelian. And we'll have another one next week. And it'll be carnelian again, but it's going to be a little different. There's going to be something. The stone is going to be different. I'm going to have different things to look at as I'm cutting it. And hopefully it'll give you a nice insight into my brain. My brain. Well, my brain and the chicken's brain too. So if you like the video, hit the button up there. Ring the bell. Subscribe to the channel. And then you'll be able to see, you'll be able to know when all this stuff comes up. And you'll never miss 1 minute of the rubber chicken and me saying stupid things. So, thanks for spending some time with me, and have a good evening.